Hello everyone, good day. My name is Omelogo, Nnadi. I like to call myself the children nurturer. I like to talk about something that is very fundamental in raising children, something that is so easy to come by and yet so very difficult, something that not a lot of parents are able to give, but without which a child has a lot of minuses in life, and that is time. Time. A child needs time. By the way, let me say that I'm recording this video in the COVID-19 lockdown period, and I want to link this to a conversation I had with a parent in my creche about 2 weeks ago. So I run a creche 0 to 3 years and an after school center 0 to 7 years, because it would have been 0 to 5 years, but because I have a son that is about almost 7, I extended to accommodate him too. So in this lockdown period, I'm closed down totally. I'm not offering any online classes because the bracket in which I operate is far too young to be exposed to all that screen time. And so what my duty has been is to call my parents periodically, know how they're doing, know if they're having any challenges with handling the children, even though everyone is home, and then to give them tips about how to engage the children, even though like you have the 1-year-olds, the 9-month-olds, and then maybe you have the 18 months old. Sometimes parents don't have ideas on how to engage this age bracket. So what's my job? I just call, like, how are you doing? How's my baby girl? How's my baby boy? And what's up? What are you guys doing? And then I give tips. So I had to speak with this particular parent. We spoke for more than 3 hours, and then she's got a 1-year-old in my creche. And then she's got a 3-year-old plus in another school that I had recommended at some time. And then while I was talking with this parent, the object of discussion was not the baby in my creche. It was the child in this other school that I had recommended. And then she had a lot of complaints. She had a lot of stuff that she was wondering how to deal with. And by the time I spoke with her over time, we were able to establish one thing. All the things she had issues with, all the things she had noted, all the things she was trying to grapple with concerning her 3-year-old plus, weren't things that were new. They had been there over time. But what was different now? She had time to observe, to sit with the child and notice these things. And because she had started to notice these things over a period, it began to give her some measure of concern because she didn't know how to handle them. And so she did the right thing. She sought help. Now, children need time and attention for their development to be full, to be complete. If you do not pay attention to the child, a lot of things will go wrong, especially in the developmental stage. You need time. You will need to pay attention. You need to create time to pay attention to what the child is learning, be it in what the cartoons, the movies, the animated pictures that this child is exposed to, be it in books, storybooks that she is reading. You need to know the content of those storybooks, be it in the people around, the nannies, the siblings, the uncles and aunties, the neighbors, the people that this child is surrounded by, because it is in this first 7 years that the character of the child, the foundation of the child is formed. And if you do not pay attention by giving time to this foundation, you're running the risk of setting up a building that will tower but might totter and fall because of a faulty and a foundation that isn't strongly rooted. So you need time. If you are busy, you need to ensure that there is someone around you who is safe, who can give time to your child. It is very vital. Now let me give you an example. I didn't always run a creche. Okay, some of you who know Omelogo Nnadi would know that I was in the media. I worked with Channels Television. I worked with Hot FM. Okay, so working in the media, I was very busy. I was out in the mornings and back at night. Sometimes I was out in the morning and back the following morning. It depended on what my job entailed. So most times I was out of the house, away from my son, and I am, beg your pardon, a single parent. It meant that the most fundamental thing that my child needed, which was time and attention, he wasn't getting, because I went out in the mornings and then I wasn't back. So everything that happened during the day at home, I didn't know about. So what did I do? I sought out a school that I considered safe and reliable, a school which I trusted to pay the kind of attention that I wasn't able to pay to my child. Now, schools are not all about academics, learning the alphabets, and then a 1-year-old can recite all the alphabets and pronounce 3-letter words and 4-letter words, and then can count 1 to 10 and then 1 to 20 and 1 to... No. That's just the basics of academics. Now, schooling entails a whole lot more. It deals with the morals of the child, the spirit of the child, the persona of the child, everything coming out of one and into the other. So if you're not able to give the kind of time that your child requires, think of a school that could offer that. So back to me also, when I was looking for schools for my son, I think he was just 2, thereabouts. I knew that I needed someone to pay attention to him appropriately in my absence. I just didn't want him to be home with my younger cousin at the time, so one of the schools that I found, I wanted a school that was close home and also along the axis of work. So one of the schools I went to, I liked the school, big school, but then I checked the classes. There were lots of pupils in a class, but they had 2 teachers and 1 assistant, and then and it looked good. And then I heard a story that threw me off, about 2 children a child who was being touched by another child in his class, and these children were about 5 years old, and one of the questions I asked was, where were the teachers? It wasn't a one-off. It was something that happened repeatedly. Apparently the child who's being touched is a girl touched by a boy who learnt these things at home. It didn't come out of nowhere. He had learnt it somewhere, exposed to the wrong adults and to the wrong things at home because someone wasn't paying attention to him. And then he was I don't want to call it molestation now because it's 2 children. He was touching this girl, and this girl was starting to behave abnormally at home. And then the mother, who paid attention, started to ask questions. And then stories came out from a 5-year-old. They took the story to the school, and then the school, run by a Nigerian who schooled in America, quote unquote, said to them that at that age children like to explore their bodies, and so it's absolutely normal. I hope you noticed my pause. The shock, that was the end. I forgot about the school. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to find a smaller school, a school where there are very few of them. And then I'm going to look at what their style, what their manners of approach are. And so I found that school. It was amazing. You know, when you need something, the universe rallies around you and gives you that which you need. Just long for it. Go out, look for it, gone for it, you will find it. And so I found this amazing school. I found this really amazing school where I enrolled my child. And they paid attention to each child. They're looking at how the child is behaving. They're looking at the child's superpowers, what the child is good at. So that school told me, you see, ma'am, your child is very visual. So, you know, you're going to put everything you want him to learn, put it around him. He would notice, he would pick it, he would learn it. He's very visual. When my son started picking up some funny behaviors, the school called my attention to it. They called me for a meeting and they said, you know, ma'am, we think that there is an unhealthy adult exposure to our boy. And I said, why? They said, okay, he was using some sort of words, he was doing some sort of stuff. He was just 3 years old. And then I realized that there was something going on at home. And so I plugged it. So time is very important. I didn't say don't work. You're going to work. A lot of these days you have both parents have to go out to work to be able to sustain the family. So you're going to go to work. But you need to realize that someone needs to be paying attention to your child, how your child is growing. You lay down rules and you check. When you're back, check what's going on. Have conversations with your children to find out what is going on. Careless conversations, soft conversations, easy conversations. Just throw questions like, instead of saying, okay, so how was your day at school today? What did you do at school today? Like, oh, I hope you had great fun. So did you make any new friends today? What were the interesting things that happened in school today? So tell me. And then just find creative ways to get the child talking so that you know what is going on. And then you must also learn to ensure that your child trusts you enough to tell you everything. Bring your children close. You don't have time? Make sure you create time when you do have that time to bring your children close. Show them love. Encourage them to trust you. Play with them. Give them confidence in you so that they'll be able to tell you whatever it is that is going on in their lives, no matter how young they are. Do not get so angry and high-voiced when you talk to them, because that way you're going to push them away. So this is for you if you don't give your children time. It is fundamental. A child who is given time at his foundational level forms better than children who have no time paid to them. When there are some stories you would read and you think they're fictional, about children who are committing suicide at very young ages. These things are real. These are children who have all sorts of emotions trapped inside, who have no parent who is paying them attention, who probably they have all the comforts in life that they need, but they don't have that love which time affords. Pay them attention. Talk to them. Know who their friends are. Know what their challenges are. Know what they are learning. Know what they are imbibing. Listen to them. Listen. What is the language of your child? What are the words they are using? Listen. Listen. And to do all these, you need time. It is fundamental. Are you giving your children time? You ought to. So my name is Omelogo Nnadi once again, and I am the children nurturer. You can follow me on Instagram at Omelogo Nnadi / or at littlecrystals.cradle. You could also follow me on Facebook with both addresses the same, Omelogo Nnadi, and at Little Crystals Cradle. Bye bye for now.